this feeling, baby, we're invincible.
Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Rebuilding Notts County. As always, if you are enjoying the save, drop a like on the video. Thought we'd start today on the finances screen. It's only a little bit different, not showing a player. Our balance has been, it's sort of, obviously it spikes towards the end of most seasons when we get the TV money and whatnot, and we got prize money. But this year, I mean, we're still considered rich, which is a good thing. It does perturb me somewhat that our transfer budget is more than our balance. Board perhaps have a look at that. They did randomly give me some more money in January, which I didn't really need, but there you go. I guess they're being kind, I suppose. The point is, though, we are making more income than we are expending, and that's kind of the most important factor. Hey Matt, now that you're into the future, how has this setup with all the players loaded been? Game runs fine and European competitions are now more or less competitive. So, yeah, I think that sort of close to 10 seasons into the save, it'd be a good time to analyse where we're at with this. So, the best thing I can say is that obviously the game slows down when you have a load of stuff loaded in players in general. Anyway, as you get further into the save, that's just to be expected. I haven't, it's certainly a lot better than I've tried playing around with all the leagues loaded because I wanted to try and do some kind of Outcast to Icons 2 Electric Boogaloo kind of stuff with this new computer because I figured, well, you know, the amount of computing power I've got now suggests I can, but it's still so slow, which suggests to me that since I did Outcast to Icons, the game has not been optimized well for more leagues loaded because I used to be able to do that on my old computer. So I guess there's that. But more importantly, when you run this database setup, the only time I really notice a drop in speed is during January transfers. The deadline day in August can take a little while, but not a noticeably large amount of time. And obviously it does slow down a little bit during the transfer window in the summer, but I think it's more spread out, so it's not quite so noticeable. I can get through the summer reasonably fast. Still takes a while and I have to take out some time, but it's not too bad. But it's the January transfer window where things really do slow down. You could have it sat there processing for sometimes minutes at a time for seemingly no reason. So if you are going to use this database setup where you go advanced and turn on all the individual players rather than the leagues, then that is going to be what happens. So it's not too bad. As for competitions, unfortunately, that's something that's always going to happen when you've just got one league turned on. It has nothing to do with the database itself, but when you only have one league turned on, the players, the clubs from that league are going to perform better in Europe than they would do if there were other leagues turned on. And unfortunately, that's just a side effect of this, which means I feel like we're going to end up beating an English team in the Champions League final one day. That's my prediction. I must say, this entire series is teaching me to be better at losing. I used to be so tempted just to quit out and play again when the game turned the bullshit tap on. Now I stay with it. 5 times out of 10, I get rewarded, eventually. I also do think sometimes I absolutely have no excuse, just should look on the bright side when I see some of the harrowing views in this Notts County save. Yeah, so playing this on YouTube has made me better at losing too, because I have to be. Because back in the day, I would complain insanely when we'd lose, even when there was no reason to complain other than we played badly. And I'd get called out on that all the time. And it makes sense. Sometimes it would go over the top where it was just I wasn't allowed to complain about losing. It's of course you would. No matter how badly you lost, you still, that just makes sense. But sometimes you just got to expect that it's going to come round again. As I always say, swings and roundabouts and all that jazz. It's going to come back around. And I feel like we had that amazing run and then it came back around and we had a poor run, and that's just life, unfortunately. But I do think sometimes that can be a bit of a higher swing, but hey, sometimes that just happens. Right, big stuff today. Couple of games off camera. We've got Manchester United in the Europa League semi-finals, a game off camera in between, and then another Man United game. This could be huge. We could reach a European final if we can get past Manchester United, although I think that's our main problem. It's annoying because Sevilla and Valencia are the other two teams, and I think we would have had a much better chance against either of those two. But I think getting to a semi is going to please the board no end, and it's going to earn us a load of money. So either way, it's good. But annoyingly, we couldn't get that win against bottom of the league Burnley, who have improved dramatically, but they're still bottom of the league, and I was pissed. Nicholas Nielsen gave us the lead in the 52nd minute. I really went for it in the second half. Dubois was absolutely flawless. 8 key passes in this match. The guy is a god. Nielsen did this all on his own. He won the ball high up the pitch, drove through and just tipped it past Clayton one-on-one. Really nice to see him actually do that. The kind of thing that Stepanek just doesn't do. Stepanek's been getting on my tits again. So often they'll be on the byline and they will just shoot into the freaking side netting. I thought that went away, but it just seems to be back now, and it's really frustrating to see. But unfortunately, 87th minute equaliser from Reece Nelson frustrated the crap out of me because I was like, that was our big chance to put down another win, get back to winning ways in the league, and really say, you know what, we're going to qualify for Europe via the league. But then in the game that mattered most, we beat Newcastle 2-0, and we now move 8 points above them with, I think, 3 matches to go. We are this close to being guaranteed 7th spot or higher. Santana gave us in the 46th minute. Silla dinked a ball to the back post. Santana was in there to score his 9th goal of the season. He's very, very close to being into double figures, which is ideal. And then a lovely ball rolled across the box from Dubois, and Paulo Assman thunders one home to make it 2-0. Really strong performance on the night. Again, Guerra has not scored for a long time. Still creating and doing a good job out there, but he has really fallen off the pace in terms of his goal scoring. I mean, he had 16 goals after about, I think, 22 matches, and he's got 16 goals, maybe 17 now, and we're nearly at the end of the season. So he does look like he's going to fall somewhat short of the target, and he's actually only got 2 more Premier League goals than Peppo did last season. So I don't know what's happened with him. It's really a shame, considering we've been playing quite well up to that point, but he missed a lot of those games because of that virus. But all of that leaves us 5th in the league. 63 points. We're a point above Manchester United and Tottenham. So it's really between us 3 to see who gets into those positions there. Oh, God, imagine if a team outside of Europe won the FA Cup, and as a result, we didn't get in it. Newcastle are done now. They've lost 4 on the bounce and actually are in danger of being caught by Aston Villa at this rate. But it is between us, Man United and Spurs for that final spot. We've got that much better goal difference than Spurs, but we are really tightly in there with Man United. 1 extra point is all we got. I mean, we could still technically get Champions League. Unlikely, though. So without any further ado, let's just jump into today's match. This is huge. Spurs are playing Arsenal next, which is very helpful. Manchester United, I don't know who they're playing, other than us, obviously. So it's Inter. Oh, Inter beat Sevilla, not the other way around. Yeah, so Inter and Valencia would be our opponent in the final. But I think getting to the final might be a bridge too far. They've got 1 player suspended. Unfortunately, Silla picked up a knock in trading, so that's not great. Maurizio Sarri managing United these days. So, selection advice. Let's move some stuff around. You'll notice that Suarez is wanted. Tuchel's Dortmund are after him. We're going to still have to come out. So Dubois and Assman come in. Stepanek came off at half-time, so he's fine. Santana, Jean Carlos. It's about as strong a lineup as we're going to get, and we need this to be a good performance. That is incredibly important for us. So the bench, Gaich, Fernandez, Lever and Peppo, Dybala, Lancaster, and of course, Ricky Griffiths. That's the away leg first. So we've got to make of that kind of what we will and do what we kind of do in these matches. Now, it does concern me somewhat that they've got this tactic, and you think the best bet would be to go down the wide areas. And I'm going to just leave it on our current approach, and then again, we'll adjust if it really doesn't look good. We owe them from the last game we played against them. I think the key thing for us is just to do what we've done so many times in the league in these away matches against the big sides this season, and that is to keep the scoreline down. I would love a 2-1 or something. If we lost 2-1, I would comfortably take that, because I know we've got that strong home form. Still only 1 home defeat all season. Wagwe, oh wow, wonderful tackle from Alberto. But you never know, keeping it very boring and tight. Maybe we can finally pull off our first massive away scalp. Oh, what a save. It's a very poor game so far, of very little quality. So we might have to change things up. But we'll see. Assman, Jean Carlos. Assman loves a long shot. And Santana looks it down, and Guerra! Oh, volleys it at the woodwork. That would have been a brilliant time for him to wake up from his scoring slumber as of late. Oh, lovely ball. Assman's making a nice little run forward. He's going to shoot. Oh, no, he doesn't. Santana, get that ball out wide. Alberto, he's got to square this. There's loads of options, and he's picked out Stepanek and is in. Manchester United 0, Notts County 1. Thomas Stepanek's 11th goal of the season gives us the lead at Old Trafford in Europe. That is so important. I think the goalkeeper's massively fluffed at this. Once again, Dubois, lovely for Alberto. I thought he'd overhit this. Does the keeper come or does the defender miss it? Oh, it's a bit of both. Brilliant. Stepanek's there, and we've got a very fortunate goal, but we lead. We've not been great today, but this is a chance for us potentially. Can Guerra flash this into a good area? And he does! Oh, he's in again! Gael Perrier has scored, and it's 2-0 to Notts County at Old Trafford. When you need it most, we've come up with an enormous performance. I think this actually hits the crossbar and bounces back to him. It's headed by Dubois, I think. Then it comes back to him off the bar, and Gael Perrier scores his 9th of the season. Well, 2-0 up, away from home, and oh, Baek Sang-jun with a goal back from Manchester United. Well, when I said 2-1, I didn't actually think it was going to be 2-1 to us at the moment, but yeah, a free kick goal immediately responding here. So I don't know how that's got through the crowd of bodies without touching someone. Or stepping it. Look at the space. He's in. He's going to shoot, I expect. Oh, he actually doesn't. Guerra! Assman, and it's a good save by the goalkeeper. We've been actually really good today. Don't know what to do in the second half. The point is we've got 2 away goals in the Europa League. We've just got to keep going with what we're doing, I think. Although I'm concerned about the wide players. I am going to focus play down the wide areas for the second half, just so I think we can get those guys involved a little bit more. That's going to be our main source of production, I'd say. But nothing else is going to change. Everything else will remain the same. Oh, that's so bad. What are you doing? We got massively away with it there. I have no idea what he's thinking. Oh, my lord. I don't know what he's thinking. I remember a goal exactly like, well, not exactly like that, but so similar a couple of seasons ago when Yoon Dong-yong did that, where they just randomly lump a free kick into their opposition for no reason when they could play it short. 2-0 up away from home and we bottled it. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but Jesus. And it looks like that is exactly what we're going to get. This definitely bodes well. I think we're strong enough to go at them in that home leg. Even if we drew 0-0, that would still be us in a Europa League final. I think we've got what it takes to not lose against them at home. Asman. Oh, we nearly got through. Man United 2, Notts County 2. Could have been so much more, but I guess we'll have to settle for what we got there. I thought it was going to be our day. It could still be. We'll see. Off-camera games now. Right, we're back. We had one game off camera away at West Ham United and we could not get it done. And this actually has more ramifications because I had a look at something else. The FA Cup final is Leeds versus Bournemouth, which means one of those, we have to get sixth in order to actually qualify for Europe next year. And I've been feeling like we're having an amazing season and it looks like it might still end up crumbling at the last minute because we've got City next, and our final day of the season game is away at Bournemouth, and that might have to be a win in order for us to get into that top six, because it is getting mighty tight in there. We should have won this match. I think we had created about 5 chances on the night. Weren't good enough there. Dubois was still excellent, but Santana, I don't know what it is with the red cards. That's 6 red cards in the league this year. We're leading the league in both yellows and reds this year, despite me not changing the tactic in any way. And it's not players that are new to the club getting sent off either. It's very strange. But today, it's about the Manchester United moment. I guess maybe our best bet is to win the bastard? I don't actually know. Then again, that would get us into the Champions League, wouldn't it? Not the Europa League. But regardless, like, we've got to do our best. I think we're in a strong position to qualify for the final, which would be an amazing achievement if nothing else. But what a letdown it would be if somehow, after all that, we didn't even qualify for Europe next year, despite coming 7th, which we've guaranteed ourselves 7th. But Man United are above us. We're above Spurs because they drew against Arsenal, but lordy lord. So, selection advice. Let's move some stuff around. We had to adjust things. I'm kind of tempted, to deploy Asman further up and have Silla and have these 3 all play together, because I just seem to like him in that role. He just gives us something a little bit different. Everything else is fine, though. About as strong as the lineup could possibly be for us. So that's what we're going to go with. We've just got to go out there and hope that our home form continues to be good. We've lost 1 home game in all competitions this year, and that was a mugging by a 0-0 against Sporting in a very unfortunate event. All we have to do is avoid defeat, because to me, unless it's a 3-3 draw, but that's very unlikely to happen. We need to prove that we're good enough here. And the fact is, if we can knock Man United out of the Europa League semi-finals, that would give me good hope that we could still finish above them or Spurs for that final Europa League spot anyway, because I think that's really important for us to do. It would genuinely be amazing just at the end of the year if somehow we didn't end up in Europe next year, despite all of our good work. Then again, it would give us one hell of a Gareth through again. Blocked. It would give us a great chance next year with less competitions to focus on to really push for a Champions League spot. So there is that, but it might concern with players leaving and whatnot. What a save from... That is a huge save from the goalkeeper. We've started strongly, though, as we often do at home. Assman picks it up. Not a bad ball. Oh, that's a bad ball. Uh-oh, now we're in trouble. He's just going to be able to run straight around the outside here, Julian Brandt. And Assman's not going to get back. Well, he actually nearly did get back. Just keeps on spreading it. Oh, he actually drew them in quite nicely there, Alberto. And Stepanek, leaving 2 up top is definitely going to give us chances going forward, but it's also going to give them a lot of opportunities on the break, and it's going to force Suarez to make saves like that. They've started this game really well. Right when we really needed the lads to step up big time, they really haven't. I mean, that being said, we still created the 2 chances of the match, but in terms of actually, that's just hit the bar, hasn't it? They are looking vicious. It's looking like another of those games where Thomas Stepanek is just not getting involved, and Paulo Asman isn't having the best day of it either. We've been really bad today. Not good at all. Okay, the game is going nowhere at the moment, and that's kind of fine, but I want to just freshen up players in areas where that makes sense for me. 7 minutes away from a European final. They've created no actual chances on the night, which is the best thing about this. We've stood strong. God, if we scored a goal here, that would send us through. Basically, it would virtually guarantee us a play. Oh no, flicked on, Parrott's in. What a stop from Marvin Suarez. He might well have just single-handedly right there put us in a European final. I'm going to keep saying that after every action now, it would seem. But we are hanging on for dear life. 4 minutes plus stoppage time. Ball over the top, and again, how are they getting in behind us now? Maybe we should drop a bit of a deeper line. And what a save from Suarez again. Okay, dropping deeper. Good ball for Silla. What the fuck was that? What Silla does there. What the hell? Watch this when Silla gets this ball. He controls it and then just stands there and waits for the guy to come and take it off of him. And that has just cost us a place in the European final. Brilliant. I don't think we played that well on the night. Completely agree. But what the hell was that? We didn't turn up in terms of the match, but to lose to something like that, it really grinds my gears. Well, then we've got to make sure that we get sixth, basically. That Bournemouth match is going to be super important because I think we're going to lose to City, and that's the problem. Just saw the statistics. Guerra's now not scored in 10 matches. Why? Why has he suddenly not scored in 10 matches? Right, well, next episode is going to be a double live cover of Manchester City and Bournemouth to finish off the end of the season and see how we're going to do here, because things are going to get... Let's just have a look, see who's got what. Tottenham are away at Leicester City. That's not easy, but not stupidly hard for them either. Man United host Bournemouth, and we've got City. I mean, maybe if we could get a result against City, I don't know. And then the following weekend, Man United go away to Wolves, and Spurs host Southampton. I think we're in real danger of not qualifying for Europe next year after all this goodness from the season that we've actually had here. That would be such an insane letdown after all we've done this year to not qualify for Europe at the end of it. I can't believe we've lost the match because of that. Oh no, technically we did lose to Burnley in the League Cup on penalties at home as well. But other than that, the 1-0 defeat to Sporting and the 1-0 defeat to Manchester United. God damn it. Right, okay, well, next episode, you know what it's going to be. Good lord, that sucks. Anyway, if you've enjoyed the episode in spite of that, drop a like on the video. That'd be cool, I suppose. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, and I will see you guys very soon. As always, hold your gun, capybara. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.